Welcome to Spiritually Unchained, the channel for the awakening ones or the already awakened. I am Jamhuri. Thank you for choosing me to guide you on your spiritual journey. I would like to talk about 3 crucial lessons that we learn when we find ourselves in a chaotic phase in our lives, and that usually happens after a big loss, after a quantum leap, also known as a transition of phase in your life, a phase or a change of your choosing, or that is caused by someone else's choice that you're related to and has kicked you into chaos. And it could be a loss of a loved one through death, through a breakup, the loss of a job, or you could even be changing places, changing homes, changing countries, because our lives are very, very sensitive to change. And many people walk through life after a change and they're very sad and they fall into depression, and they don't know how to handle it because they have not understood the shape of things at that moment. I am very, very grateful that the Divine Creator has revealed to me the picture of what that looks like in my life as well as in the lives of other people. And through this, I am able to guide others. The first lesson we learn is trust. Trust in the Divine Creator. And the reason why we have to trust the Divine Creator is because nobody else understands us fully when we are in a chaotic phase in our lives. Because when we lose something, we feel it's like the pillars in our lives have fallen and we have lost our footing, our grounding, and we seem to be floating in the air and detached from people. And as much as people want to help us, they cannot walk in our shoes. And so we're looking for someone that truly understands us. And we find that when we talk to people about our mess, our chaos, they will bring us input. And the more voices we listen to, the more we lose our own voice. Because God speaks to us personally, and we are able to, if we're listening, and we can understand the voice and know what to do. At the end, I have learned that we will know what to do if we just step back and listen to our intuition, to our inner voice. God has a way of speaking to us. And so if we run to people and ask for their opinions, there will be so many voices that will confuse us even more. And when we learn to walk with the Divine Creator who understands us so well, we start to get the guidance of what to do and how to handle ourselves. And in quiet and stillness, I find that we find the answers. We receive the guidance. And so, and trust is a number one thing, by the way, that I've found in life, that before you go into anything, you gotta trust people. If you want to go into business, if you want to have them in your life as a friend, the first thing you need to have is trust, no matter what. Otherwise, life really doesn't work. And so you will find that in my case too, the last couple of years, 2021 to 2023, Today is December 2023. I had my own chaotic phase, and so I'm speaking to you from experience. And you find that you and God become, I call it besties, best friends, because God is so trustworthy, and trustworthy that you can speak all your needs, all your, the depth of your situation, and you will not hear it from somebody else. Because people tend to not keep secrets, right? And they talk around to so many people. So that really protects you to just have God as your number one person to go to. Number 2 is surrender. Surrenders the situation. If we do not surrender the situation, it will swallow us up. And if you've gone through a depression, and I think we all go through some depression at some point in our lives, I've realized that if we do not guard our minds and our hearts and our emotions and our spirit and allow the problems to engulf us, we feel like we're sinking deeper, actually up to beneath the ground and into the darkness, the depths of darkness. And when you go that far, carrying your problems, because you are thinking constantly about your problems, it becomes so hard to come up. It takes a lot of effort. It's so easy to give up. And you find that the deeper you go into sadness and depression, the more you detach from people, and the more you feel alone, and you feel like you're shut away from any kind of contact. You could just you feel like you're walking around like a zombie. So I've learned that it is important to trust the divine creator again. I mean, surrender your issues as you trust, because number 1, you got to trust and then surrender all these issues you have to the divine creator. And when you do that, you also have, like, your spirit becomes lighter, your mind can rest, your emotions can be calm. And I really thank my spiritual teachers for sharing this with me about surrender. And so how do you surrender? One of the lessons I had to learn is also from my mentor is detachment. Because I used to really overwork my mind with so many things, because I'm a solution seeker myself. I'm a fixer of problems. And I can easily fix other people's problems and let it go. But when it comes to my problems, I think about it over and over and twist it around, turn it upside down until I find that golden solution. And by that time, I would have exhausted myself a lot. And so to learn to detach, that was a very tough lesson for me to learn. Again, so surrendering, detaching from that and giving it to the hands of God. And I was taught that if you surrender, you don't need to be talking about it over and over and over. One time or twice, then it's God has heard it. And that was a very new concept for me. So surrendering it is a protection for yourself. It's letting go of that burden. Letting go of the burden. So how do you surrender? We do that through meditation, through using affirmations, positive affirmations. And if you go to YouTube, you will find that there's so many spiritual teachers who have created all kinds of meditations and affirmations that you can use throughout the day, that you can use while you're sleeping. And when you place yourself in the center of this and speak them throughout the day, they will replace the negative thoughts going through your mind. And we also call them prayers, okay? Affirmations and meditations are prayers that you send to the divine creator. And this actually saved my sanity. And I said them throughout the day so that there was no room for negativity, no room for feeling sorry for myself. And at the end, I created my own affirmations. And you will find them in this channel. And these are, another creativity that came out of my chaotic phase. You can also use visualization. Seeing yourself in another place where you want to be other than your present painful situation. And because our mind will create whatever we feed it. And so instead of using your mind to create negativity, which will multiply your negative situation and even keep you there longer, you use positive visualization and affirmation, self-talk, positive self-talk. And you can actually see yourself out of this situation, see your future. And I'm glad to tell you that what I visualized is happening. It is so powerful. And I'm again very, very grateful for my spiritual teachers that I found during this time. Because this is one of the things I was mentioning before, that you are not alone. God comes to you, sending you teachers, spiritual teachers, to guide you during your difficult time and to bring messages. And I learned so much during that phase. And I was sent my own spiritual community and teachers. And I found them, even though I was in another country. I'm grateful for YouTube, for technology that can connect us to so many people worldwide. And so be proactive during your chaotic life. Seek help and listen to the voice of God. Listen to the intuitive messages coming to you throughout the day, and follow them. And number 3 is patience. Patience is so important. And I don't think I can talk enough about patience. And I might have to do a different talk just based on patience. And in this society today, we want things to be fixed very, very quickly, and through ads, wherever we see ads, they have quick fixes. And I would love quick fixes. But I've found that life isn't like that. Life is about patience. And I learn a lot from nature. And I grew up on a farm, and I understand crops, how they work. The ground has to be broken in order for the seed to be planted. And in order for that seed to germinate and face all the bugs and the rain, maybe the flood and the wind, and then mature slowly, and then get a flower after many months. And then after that flower has to wither for a fruit to form. And after the fruit has formed, and then it has to ripen, and that takes several months. And it depends on other environmental conditions like sunshine and rain, and so and it matures at its own time after many months, half a year, depending on the plant. And that is the same thing in our lives. And now when we are broken in this chaos, it's like breaking the earth. And then this process of a seed being planted, the trust or the new form, the new phase in you to come out of it. And what God wants to teach you through this is a new phase in your life. It has to mature, and it takes time. And so no matter how you squirm, you will find yourself that you may not make as quick progress as you would like. And if you just trust and surrender, you will be able to be patient. And if you don't, then you can just waste so much energy squirming and crying and, getting frustrated and being angry. And then you might create again. That's another thing. As my mentors also, my spiritual mentors say, whatever you focus on will multiply. So you might as well focus on the positive things in life. And I have to add that when you're going through these 3 lessons that you're learning, two things are happening. You are overcoming fear because you're seeing God as bigger in your life than the problems you're going through, than the brokenness you're going through. And the second thing that you're learning, or what's happening in the background, is maturity of your faith. You're getting solidified, and you're moving from what you were in the past to a new you. So there's lessons that, we go through cycles in life, and we learn different lessons. And so I would like to encourage you not to give up and to allow that process to happen. And I found really, like, when everything was taken from me and I just had to do those, to trust and surrender and detach and be patient. And by the way, I am still going through patience. And I like to ask people, if you have ever graduated from the school of patience, I would like you to know how you did it, because I never graduate. I would love to, but I find that everything depends on patience. And so, and I find that I was just sharing with someone the other day, and I say, we really don't know. We don't know exactly how far God can help us. But unless you've lost everything, and unless you have to trust completely because you're floating in the air, and you trust God to build those pillars for you to stand on, to support you, you will feel so fearful. But I will say that God's grace is sufficient for every single day. Sometimes we have to live minute by minute by minute, by an hour by hour and hour. And then at the end of the day, you will be surprised that you've overcome the stress of the day, whatever you are dreading. And then it's evening and you're sitting there in your bed praying and say thank you. And then the next day it starts the same way. And I'm still going through these lessons, and we don't give up because God knows where He's taking us. And so our trust has to grow more and more, because sometimes we do not have any option. And I find, this is very, very important. The thing that throws us off balance is when we panic. And because we've lost everything, we've lost our footing, and we want to, fix, bring things into our lives so that we can find the support. And so we can ruin ourselves again. We can derail ourselves by taking the wrong things into our lives. That is not really the plan. And for instance, like rushing into a relationship, what we call a rebound, I don't think they last long. You get hurt even more. Or, so I find that I think these last 3 years that I was going through my own chaos, I also put myself to test to see what is it really like to fully trust God. And I decided that I was not going to grab things and put them into my lives to fix myself. I wanted to really like put God on test and see how my life is going to turn out. And I want to tell you, I'm not disappointed. My life right now is so much better than when I just got into the chaos. And I'm here. I've lived it. I've lived through it and survived to tell. And so be encouraged, and whatever you do, be spiritually unchained. spiritually unchained means that letting go of the conditioning that you've learned before through religion, through family, through society, because you're on the awakening journey. This is a whole new path that you're discovering, and you're letting go of all the chains that held you back before you got awakened. So until next time, thank you.